Is off tonight. Jimmy Butler's former team playing again right here on NBA TV. Soap opera that was the Minnesota Timberwolves. Oh, it's now a well-running, winning team since that trade as well. Timberwolves play the Blazers in Portland. Will have their hands full against one of the best defensive lineups in the league. That's right. You look at Jeff Teague, Andrew Wiggins, Robert Covington, Taj Gibson, and Karl Anthony Towns. They have the third best defensive rating of any five-player group in the league this season. Griff, we can't just gloss over this.
Well, no, and I think what you see also is how classic is it that Tom Thibodeau has a lineup that is playing more than double the minutes that Utah's lineup is playing. Tom is going to ride the horses that are getting it right. And if you play for Tom Thibodeau, the one thing you know is if you execute what he's trying to do on the defensive side of the ball, you're probably going to play. And if you don't, you're probably not. And Tom's going to ride the wheels off of the guys that get it right.
It's just amazing to me that, this is the same team. And taking Jimmy off of this team, it's helped both squads. I mean, he went to Philadelphia and he's doing work there. But this team, they kind of get their team back. You get Karl Anthony Towns, you get all your young players back, doing well, playing happy again. And it's the same group of guys. We know what Tibbs does. They're buying in now and look really good.
I get that Robert Covington isn't the greatest offensive player, but this was a first-team all-defensive player last year, and now you throw him into the mix. Is this part of what he brings to the table, being able to take this group and elevate them defensively?
I think so. He is a good defender, and losing Jimmy, it takes away a heck of a defender, both from a team aspect as well as an individual aspect. So I think Covington's really going to help in that regard.
Well, and I think what they got in the trade was a depth of defensive players that they actually now get to introduce to the lineup. Saric is a bigger, versatile defender. Covington is a bigger, versatile defender. And by Jimmy going away, it created more opportunity for Josh Okogie, the rookie, who is actually a really solid defensive piece as well. So their identity now is much more in line with what Tibbs wants to be about.
Are Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns also playing better defense now that they don't have the off-the-court issues that they had with Jimmy Butler? Do you think they're buying in more?
Oh, sure, and I think that's the only reason this is working. They're not better on talent because Jimmy went away. They're better spiritually because Jimmy's out of the locker room and everybody got a new lease on life. That's changed their outlook in a really comprehensive way. If the team with Jimmy on it was this spiritually connected, he'd still be there, and they would have won a lot more because that team was more individually talented. This team's more connected.
Yeah, I mean, as you saw in that last play, Andrew Wiggins making a huge defensive play. We know he's been much maligned offensively, but contributing on that end more now.
I love it. And again, we have to remember, these are young guys trying to find their way. We look at Phoenix right now and what they're going through. They're the same age as these guys in Minnesota. They've just got a little bit better direction right now. And look, like you said, they've got their locker room back. They can play free and easy. You got Andrew Wiggins, who's still young. But look what he can do. He can make up for things. He's so long. He's a little bit Clyde-like to me. If he gets where he's got a little bit more dog in him, look out. I mean, he's all kinds of talented.
Well, the Portland Trail Blazers, they're facing this Minnesota Timberwolves defensive death lineup at just the worst time for them. Portland has lost 6 of their last 8. Now, Griff, you look at scheduling. Right, you look at that date, November 14th, this team was rolling. Winners of 7 of 8 at that point. Now they're struggling. They played 6 straight on the road and continue to seem like they're trying to find their way.
Well, and I think it's very difficult on the road when you don't know who your third best player is going to be and the most consistent player, how you win in that circumstance. Portland really is trying to grow Zach Collins into being their third best player. And that's a difficult task for a guy that young who's that far away from what he's really capable of becoming. But if he doesn't become that come playoff time, this team's not going to go anywhere near as far as those guards are capable of taking them because they really need that other piece that can help bring it all together.
Playing big minutes before you're really ready for them is sort of a double-edged sword. You hope that when you're doing that, you're playing on a bad team who's expected to lose. Portland is a good team. They're expected to win. They've got a really good cast of characters there, but you're playing Zach, You're trying to make him be what he's going to be. He's only going to be, it's going to be on his schedule. And I doubt very seriously come playoff time, no matter how much growth he makes this year, that he's going to be ready for that come playoff time. I think that this team, they're so weirdly built. And to have CJ and Dane playing together, it's just very tough. They're going to score. They're going to score, but can those guys really defend you and defend big guards in the backcourt?
Well, it certainly puts an onus on everybody else on the floor to be defensive oriented and to be long and versatile. And so they played Evan Turner quite a bit. Now they're not playing him as much. They played Mo Harkless quite a bit. They don't play him quite as much. They come and go with these guys trying to figure out what the right combination of pieces is on the defensive side of the ball. And again, if you had that third guy you could count on all the time on the offensive side, at least then you'd have a larger margin for error.
Well, it's the season of giving.